Hello everyone. Today we will revise our chapter Nutrition in Plants. So first of all, what is nutrition? So as we know very well that nutrients are chemical substances. Okay, so these are chemical substances that are present in our food, and these chemical substances are absorbed or utilized by our body. Okay, and this process is known as nutrition. Okay, so how the definition can be here? It's the process of taking in food by an organism. Clear? And its utilization by the body. It is called nutrition. Clear? And this nutrition is of two types. So what can be the types? First of all, we have autotrophic, and the next one is heterotrophic. Okay, so if we talk about the autotrophic, so auto, that means self. Clear? So trophic, that means feed. So here autotrophic, that means mode of nutrition in which organisms produce their own food. Example, plants. So even these are known as producers cause of they produce their own food, so these are known as producers. And so heterotrophic, that means mode of nutrition in which organisms depend on others for food. For example, animals and we people also. So we are also heterotrophic. Okay. So the next we have autotrophic nutrition in plants. So as we know very well that plants are producers. So how do they produce their own food? So let's see what are the things that the plant requires for making its food. So like what are the raw materials? So the first one we have sunlight, then carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so these are the basic things that a plant requires for making its food. Okay, so this sunlight, who traps this sunlight for these plants? So chlorophyll. Clear? So these are the substances that so chlorophyll, these are the pigments that gives green color to the leaves. So these chlorophyll trap energy from sun and then give it to the whole plant. And if we talk about the carbon dioxide, so it gets from air. Okay, so we know very well that air contains so many different gases. Okay, and carbon dioxide is also one of them, right? And water, this water is absorbed by the soil, and who absorb this? Roots of the plant. Clear? And the important thing, this air, which part of the plant gets the carbon dioxide from air? So this is stomata. So stomata, these are the tiny openings present on the surface of leaf. Okay. So now all the required components we have for making the food. And what is the process that leads to the formation of or preparation of the food in the plant? So process is known as photosynthesis. Here photo means light, that the sunlight we are taking for the preparation of the food, and next we have synthesis, and synthesis means to put together. So this is called photosynthesis. So it is a process in which green plants make their own food in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. Clear? And here we have a reaction for this, like when carbon dioxide, it reacts with water, in the catalyst of chlorophyll and sunlight, then they form glucose. What they form? Glucose, and release oxygen. Clear? Okay, so when this carbon dioxide, it adds up with water, okay, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, then they form glucose, okay, which is food for the plants. Okay, and afterwards this glucose is taken by the plants, and the leftover food, it is stored as starch in the different parts of the plant. For example, its leaves, flowers, stems, roots, okay, and then it releases oxygen, and the release of this oxygen during this process is known as transpiration. So what are the necessary things that a plant requires for making its food? For example, sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water. Okay. So now move to heterotrophic nutrition in plants. So first of all, what is heterotrophic? In the previous also we learned that heterotrophic, that means when the organism depend on the other organisms or plants for their food. So these are known as, this process is known as heterotrophic nutrition. For example, so what is this? Is the mode of nutrition in which green plants depend or indirectly on the green plants for their nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, and the animals or and the non-green plants are known as heterotrophs. Clear? Let's talk about the heterotrophic nutrition in plants. So there are some plants that do not prepare their own food, and they are known as non-green plants. They are non-green. Clear? And those plants are known as parasites. So they depend on other and other plants. Okay, for example, dodo, it's a plant that sucks food from the another plant using root-like structures. Okay, and these are known as parasites. And the another plant on which this parasite feeds on, that is known as host for that particular parasite. Okay, so the plant from which a parasite gets its food is called host. And even some are the plants that are partial parasites. So what this term says, so like the plant mistletoe, this is the plant that grows on mango or mahua, but it is green in color. Okay, its leaves are green, and it can synthesize its food, but it needs another plant for minerals and water. So this is how it is known as partial parasite. Another term we have of insectivorous plants. So what are insectivorous plants? So insectivorous plants are the plants that those who just catch the insects, okay, for their nutritional purpose. So they just take the nutrients from these insects and then grow. Okay, so what are these? These are the, like the Venus flytrap and the pitcher plant, catch insects by the ingenious methods, and they are known as insectivorous plants. And even they have different catching method for their insects. Okay, the next one we have saprotrophs. So what are saprotrophs? So these are the non-green, but if we talk about the saprotrophic plants only, so these are the non-green plants that live on dead and decaying plants and animals to get the nutrients from that. Okay, for example, mushroom, fungi, bacteria. Okay, so these are called saprotrophs, and the mode of nutrition in these kind of plants is known as saprotrophic nutrition, so in which they just get the nutrients from the dead and decaying matter. Okay, so getting nutrients from dead and decaying matter in the form of liquid is known as saprotrophic nutrition. Clear? Even there is another mode of nutrition in which two kind of organisms work together for their mutual benefit. For example, alga, which is an autotroph, so it's an autotroph, and fungus, so it's a saprophyte. Okay, because it gets its food from the dead and decaying matter, so that's why it's a fungus, a saprophyte. So okay, so what can be the mutual benefit in both of these? For example, this fungus, it supplies water and minerals to the cells of the alga for the growth of that, and this alga, it supplies food to the fungus. So mutually they are helping each other, and this mutual relationship is known as symbiosis. Clear? So the last topic of today is replenishing nutrients in the soil. So we know very well that the plants, they absorb nutrients from the soil. So this soil, from where it contains these nutrients that are required for the plant's growth. So these are basically manure and fertilizers, and these are the chemical substances. Okay, and these we sprinkle or spray to our crops for the better yield. So that is why we just spray manure and fertilizers on our crops, and these mostly contain nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. Okay, so these are the nutrients that are present in the manure and fertilizers. And you know what, these things, these nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, they are not get directly taken by the plants. So how these nutrients are taken by the plants? So there is a bacteria called rhizobium. So this rhizobium, it's not able to make its food. Okay, and it feeds on these. Afterwards, this rhizobium make these soluble in the soil, and then these nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, so these nutrients are taken by the plants through the soil. Okay, so students, this was for today. So you need to learn this chapter, and in the next video we will come with our next chapter.